All right, and we're live. Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Solicited Advice. This is a different day than what I'm usually on, but I have to make accommodations for my friends, especially when they're across the pond in different places. We have a global stage here through Substack, and I have so much gratitude for that. So I have a few announcements before we get into inspiring women to walk in their power. I think that title alone, you had me at the title. Okay. And this title was actually thought about by my guest, Edith, who will be hearing from her in a few minutes. But it's Women's History Month. So I always want to take a few moments to shout out some women and some great things that they're doing. And so I'm using just like different things. Yesterday it was books and I had a t-shirt. Today I want to highlight my co-founder of Elephant Strategy Club, Summer DeKosh. She made these little coasters for our club, and she did calligraphy, and they're like a little wood chip. And then on the back, she has a message. So I want to shout her out. She's an artist, and that's just something she loves to do. And then when I was going through my healing journey from 13 years of depression, I now like to have like little affirmations and things around my office. So I got this love affirmation from one of my clients, Ronnie Cyrus Jackson. I want to shout her out. Um, we had a women's retreat, and she had like little knickknacks and things for us as attendees and even collaborators with her at that event. And then the last thing is this cup that I really enjoyed. It says, "They whispered to her, 'You can't withstand the storm.' She whispered back, 'I am the storm.'" So we have to remember that we are powerful as women. I got this from my grandson's preschool teachers. I would go and read and do different activities. And so they gave this to me as a gift for the holidays. And I know I said that was the last thing, but I wanna highlight my husband because he is a great supporter of me. He got this made for me, America's Supermom, and then it has the Supermom on here, and the quote is something I wrote, some time ago, "Be the best you because there is no substitute." So, loving these things, wanna shout them out. Thank y'all so much. All right, so um, we also have a live event that's happening tomorrow in Griffin, Georgia. So if you're live in Georgia area, it's a Get Branded event. We're going to be doing headshots, makeup, and creating content. And the founder of Zandra TV Network is going to be there speaking. Um, and I think that's all my announcements. So I want to thank y'all for watching. And I'm LaChelle, by the way. I just get right into these shows. Don't even say who I am. But this show, Solicited Advice, is around the concept of asking for help. So I went through 13 years of depression, three hospitalizations, and now I deal with mental wellness, sharing my story on keynote speaking, podcasts, TV, whatever. And so I said, this will be a show where we learn how to ask for help, how to ask for advice. And so that's where the name came from. So I'm excited because I was just reconnecting before we hit go live with Edith. We met years ago. Okay. I can't believe it's probably been about 6 years online during the time of the global pandemic. And so I'm so excited to be reconnected with her. And we can start telling all the stories about, our journey together, apart, what we're doing now. And we're going to do that live in person on this show. So I'm going to give you the opportunity, Edith, to introduce yourself before we get into our conversation.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's been amazing opportunity. It's an amazing opportunity to speak here to your audience and connect after so many years. I cannot believe it's been so many years that we haven't seen each other. But I am so privileged to be here and be invited. So My name is Edith Wallach. I am brand impact coach, and I support women stepping into their power and courage
Mhm.
to create humanity-centered brands, businesses, and empower not only themselves, but also their families, their communities, and ultimately their children, our next generation.
Mhm.
Because as we support one woman, that is a ripple created in their family, and it spreads everywhere. So I am so honored to come to this pathway that
Mhm.
I can support others, because many years ago I was in totally different place.
Mhm.
And going back, I get to be vulnerable and share
Mhm.
with you my journey. So I have been in a uh, how do you call it, like a redundancy um, situation
Mhm.
about 7 years ago, and I fell into depression,
Mm.
and I didn't know what to do with, with myself. Like, what were my next steps?
Mhm.
And I remember 6 months before, I went on a walk on a beautiful green pathway, and I asked God, I
Mhm.
asked, why am I here? God, show me the way, because this job, 9 to 5 job, doesn't excite me. If I feel numb, I
Mhm.
don't feel anything. And sure enough, 6 months later, God showed me the way, and I was made redundant. So that it didn't feel like it was a gift at all. It didn't feel like this is the pathway, because I didn't know how to receive it. Now I understand it. I understand that this happened for a reason, to wake me up, to put me on the right path of empowerment, of supporting women and helping their businesses. With 26 years experience in branding, marketing, strategies, and now for the last 4 years leadership,
Mhm.
I understand that this happened for a reason. And I started being on a leadership pathway, and I didn't truly know what to do with it. And then
Mhm.
God showed me again how I can support, how I can utilize the skills that I've gained, because my son fell ill. My
Oh.
21 years old son fell ill into mental breakdown, and we were diagnosed with so many 5 different illnesses, like
Mm.
fibromyalgia, um, stiffening of the back, like so many different psychosis, and so many different illnesses. But it truly was like nervous system breakdown.
Wow.
And if I wouldn't have the leadership skills and tools, I would be still sitting in the corner and crying and not knowing what to do with that situation.
Mhm.
But because I put myself through the training, I put myself to see my powers, to uncover the true potential.
Mhm.
Because I chose me, I was able to support my son in his journey. I found the right doctors. I found natural supplementation. I knew how to speak on and communicate with him in a correct way, because it's not anybody. It's a person who doesn't know what to do. Like they are in breakdown,
Yeah.
and in order to reach them, you get to be slow, you get to connect, you get to be empathetic, and have an open heart to truly understand them, what they are going through, and seeing the vision of them healed.
Yeah.
And soon as I saw the vision of my son being healed, I was so excited and passionate about his journey. I generated specialists and the medication and the supplementation that he truly needed. And 6 months later, just like that, he was like a totally new person.
Amen.
Because from before he was bedbound, he couldn't move, his nervous
Mhm.
system shut down. Like he, yeah, he had all different things happening to him, even seizures, facial
Wow.
muscle movements, and all of that. And after literally maximum, it lasted from 3 to 6 months that the recovery started.
Wow.
And now he's functioning young adult. He's 25 now,
Mhm.
and he's about to start his driving license, learning.
Amen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he at that time when this happened to him, he was still in university. So
Mhm.
he finished 2 years of university as a
Oh,
civil engineer, and he
wow.
couldn't continue. He couldn't finish it. But
Mhm.
now he's ready to start his life. He's ready to find a job. He's ready to explore the world.
That is
And
so awesome.
this happened because I chose myself. And
Mm,
my mission is to support other women, not only in their business, because that's my skill. I can
mhm.
support them with their marketing and branding, but also support them with helping finding the way, for to empower them so they can empower their children.
Love that. You know, you mentioned so many great points in your journey. I think the first thing is, that time where you took that walk and you talked to God about your purpose. What was it that got you to that point? Because, when you're successful in your job and career and you're hearing the validation from other people, whether it be vanity matrix or number of clients and things like that, what got you to the point to realize that, that wasn't enough and you had to seek a different answer? Because if all the things were looking good, how did you know that something wasn't right?
I wouldn't know. So
Mm,
there is a point then in our lives that we get to we get to choose differently.
mhm,
And because I chose differently against, nobody in my family had any leadership training or anything like that. So I knew that there is something for me bigger than what I have learned so far, because it wasn't working for me. I felt exhausted. I felt helpless. I felt like everything was happening to me,
mm.
not for me. And when I realized that this is the pathway I get to choose, I get to step into my power and truly acknowledge myself and trust myself 100%. Because with no trust, that you can't go anywhere. You get to start trusting yourself and your intuition.
Yeah, I love that. I was in that place, where I was following everybody else and I didn't trust myself. So I resonate with that point of learning to build that trust with yourself, because you've trusted other people to validate what you were feeling. And when there was a disconnect and not an alignment, we blame, in my case, I blame myself instead of even thinking, is this really what I want to do? The second thing you brought up was being able to have that empathy. I have a daughter who is struggling with mental health. Now she's good. She's on medicine, going to school, and doing things that, few months ago she just couldn't even think about doing, right? So being able to hold space for people and even what you do every day, what would you say is the one trait that allows you to hold space for other people?
Hmm, being in service.
Mhm.
That is the vision of s- holding space for others and being truly in service and forgetting about me, or many women think of fear of judgment of others.
Mhm.
They fear, oh, what they gonna say, oh, how do I look, oh, this is not gonna feel comfortable. Like, we get to let that go and step into service, and how I can support somebody else. Even listening to somebody else's story, it can open up so many opportunities, how they can move forward. They can see the gap, from where they are now to where they can be. I recently had a conversation with my client, and he wants to organize events to stop
Mhm.
loneliness.
Oh.
His vision is, but he didn't see what's like, he didn't know what's what, like, he didn't see beyond it. And I took him to the steps, and he can see, he's a Bollywood actor, and
Oh.
he wants to create comedy shows here in England, to stop people from feeling lonely.
That's
And I empowered him to see the bigger vision, what impact he can create. It's not only one event, but he can do many different events and then empower others, and other men and women and families. So we get to let go of our egos and
Mhm.
boldly step into our power and how we can support and be of service to others.
I love that, resonate with that so much because I come from a high performance background. I was an only child, and, that was really all I knew was to get recognition for performance. And so, being able to have the confidence to be vulnerable was a hard thing, but it was the biggest game changer because I believe that we connect with people better when we are vulnerable and transparent because people are dealing with the same thing, but maybe they're not talking about it. So I love how you frame this to inspire women to walk in their power versus motivating. So for you, what do you feel happens for women to be empowered or inspired, rather than just motivated, temporarily to walk in their power?
Inspiration has a deep meaning rather than motivation, because
Mhm.
motivation is just for few minutes and then we move on to different story, different thing. But inspiration, it has a deeper meaning, um it has a transformation. Um it has legs, and it can not only inspire them, but it can inspire others in their families or in communities. So inspiration is something that is a way of being rather than
Mhm.
doing. being inspiring and inspiring others is a in my opinion, a biological change in your own body, in the way how you feel, and how you can progress, and how you can um, support others. Um, it's huge.
I love that because, it is something no one can take away from you. Things can happen and can affect your motivation, but I love how you said it's a way of being. And I think that's so important because a lot of times we as women are, burying our power
Yeah,
or giving it away. I had this one gentleman, he was speaking and he said, women are so easy at giving their power away. And he said, I'm going to give you an example. Uh, Take a mechanic, and a woman is going to get her car worked on. She will listen to whatever that mechanic says and just open up her checkbook and write a check.
yeah,
And I just thought, that is so true. It might not be a mechanic, it might
trusting
be a
others.
plumber, right? A roofer. I think of a lot of things when it requires certain things that we're not knowledgeable about, we just give our power away. And, we don't even realize we have power a lot of times. So I love what you're saying, where you're tapping back into women, especially, and helping them to recognize that you're already enough. I think that's really the way I look at it. And, we've been taught a lot of times through society or programming, that we're not enough. We got to do this. We got to be the best mom, the best coworker, the best daughter, the best wife. And it's this pressure rather than being able to rest in the calm of just being who you are. So I love that. And, what was it that opened up your eyes to that philosophy or truth? Because in a society where there's a lot of noise, a lot of comparison, a lot of, just got to do all these metrics, for even on social media. How many times did you post? How many people like it? Did they share it? It's just a constant hamster wheel thing. So, how did you get to that calm and knowing about being?
That's a great question. Thank you for that. It's about self reflection, and letting go of what we haven't done, and forgiving ourselves. I have also I know your smile
Mhm.
shortcut, and I have a fun one.
Okay.
It says FUN. Fun is forgiveness.
Mm.
Forgiveness for yourself, because we are the biggest critics for ourselves.
Mhm.
Like, we hold ourselves to the highest standard possible. We don't hold anybody else to that standard,
So
but
true.
our standard has to be the highest. So letting go of things that you haven't accomplished yet,
Mhm. Mhm.
and you wanted. You Maybe somebody didn't get married, maybe they got divorced, maybe you've didn't reach the goal you wanted to reach. We get to let go of everything that is holding us back,
Mhm.
and forgive others. Forgive, someone who hurt you in the past. Forgive for, you know, somebody, I don't know, honking on you. Forgive your old boss. Forgive your ex-husband, and I don't know, people who you have connections. That's number one. You get to forgive everybody and yourself, especially
Mhm.
yourself.
Mhm.
Step number two is starts with you, meaning unlimited resources. I usually give my students an exercise that they really love. And as soon as they put their teeth into it, they are like, oh my God, I can't believe I've never done this before. But actually writing out the accomplishments you've created up until now. And I always push for 150 accomplishments. And by the time you get 30, it's like, I can't believe I don't think I accomplished any more. 35, I remember doing that exercise myself. And I remember for the first time, and I remember it was number 57. I'm like, I've exhausted. Like, I've accomplished everything. 57. And I was like, I get to sit in this chair until I finish it, until 150. And I was crying. I was persevering, and I've done 150 ways that I've accomplished something.
Wow.
Even tiniest, not only big university
Mhm.
awards or certificates, diplomas, but tiny little accomplishments, and that will fill you up so much. You will never look back at your life and say like, I can't do something, because you've accomplished so many things, and anything can be possible, but you get to see it. You get to
I love
see it
that.
up front
Mhm.
and tap into those unlimited resources that you already have, because the world is abundant and prosperous, and we get to see the opportunities everywhere.
Love that.
So that's you in fun. And N is every day is a new day. Every day you have a new opportunity to create something new. If you didn't reach your goal, today is a new day. Let's go. Let's start running. Let's start learning a new skill.
Mhm.
Let's start a business. Let's create a new moment, because this is new moment. Every time you have a new opportunity, new moment, and shift and change whatever path you are on, and you're not happy, you're not satisfied, you get to shift and create a new moment for yourself.
I love that. I love that. I
So
totally resonate with the forgiveness, because you touched on it around, we're our biggest critic and we have to forgive ourselves first. You can't even express forgiveness for other people if you haven't forgiven yourself. That was my story, thinking that I was forgiving people, but, I was still holding on to this negative energy, because it was around me criticizing myself and being my own bully. I didn't even really have a lot of people outside of me bullying me about anything. It was me. So I love that point that you brought up. And I can't believe we're almost out of time, but I have really enjoyed connecting with you. So share with everybody, what do you have coming up, how we can support you, especially, with it being Women's History Month.
yes, yes, thank you. I am creating an event with women
Mhm.
founders, leaders in this work, um, on on 8th of March at noon PST and 3
Okay.
p.m. EST. We are going live. I have 8 speakers, so 9 in total, including myself. And we're going to support people. We're going to have a fire chat at the end. We're going to offer lots of free gifts, lots of
Mhm.
support, coaching, free gifts, whatever the speakers will be giving away. And I'm always open to supporting and hopping on with somebody to support them on their journey, whether it's a business related or relationship related, like mothers. Um, So I'm happy to give away 30 minutes of coaching session, and yes, I would love to see you come and join if you have free time. It is at noon PST on 8th of March, which is the International Women's Day. Um, and we have women who are connecting all over the place from most of them are America, Hungary, UK. I'm not sure whether there is a Canadian leader in there, but
Mhm.
it's 8 of us. So
Well, I love that. Well, yeah, we will make sure that we have links and everything associated with that event here in the show notes.
oh,
But
thank you.
thank you so much, Edith, for being here. And it has been a wonderful time to reconnect. And I'm looking forward to us collaborating more in the future. Um,
Absolutely. I am I am on a mission to support 1 million women. And in works, I've published a book for women founders, like collaboration. Uh,
yeah,
but yeah, I'm working on my own book now to support women in business and in leadership as well.
love
Um,
that.
so I am excited for it, and we just graduated a leadership um, uh, container,
Uh
um,
huh.
and with 13 other leaders. So it's been amazing. I had an opportunity to be there in person for the graduation in Los Angeles, and
Awesome.
it was amazing, amazing time. Can
Well,
I have can
yeah,
I have a quick a screenshot of us?
absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, yeah, I think that should do it.
Awesome. Well, we want to
Thank
thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. Thank you for all the valuable work that you're doing in the world, not just where you are in your neck of the woods, but globally. So appreciate that. That
That's
component
nice.
of being online really helps you to reach other people. And we want to thank you guys for watching. And if you resonated with anything, please share it to other people as well as reaching out to Edith. If you have problems with that, just reach out to me and I'll make sure that you all are connected. Want to wish all the women out there happy International Women's Day,
Yeah.
happy Women's History Month. And Edith, again, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your connection and this interview.
You are
Let's
so welcome.
let's support other women, other mothers and families.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. And we're going to close it out here. I want to remind you all to go and be brilliant in the world today. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.